What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Cinema Review. My name is Scott. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new movie, The Green Knight, directed by David Lowery, the new A24 movie. If you know about A24, they have their own style of movies where they're pretty atmospheric, maybe a little bit creepy. It's not for everyone, and this movie sort of follows the same path. If you're not into A24 movies, you're probably not going to be into this one, but if you are, this is definitely one to check out. Let's get into the review. So The Green Knight is an epic fantasy adventure film like we've never seen before. It's based off an old Arthurian legend that is pretty much about the nephew of the king is confronted by the Green Knight who proposes a challenge to him, saying that if you strike a blow to me, I get to return that blow back to you 1 year later. So this isn't a spoiler. We see it in the trailer. Our main character chops the head off the Green Knight. So now this whole movie is about his journey 1 year later, going back to that Green Knight and letting and completing the challenge to let the Green Knight give the same blow back to him. So this whole movie is pretty much a character study as we follow our main character on this quest to go back to the Green Chapel where the Green Knight is. So as you can probably already tell from the thumbnail, I did like this movie a lot. Obviously, like I said, it's not going to be for everyone. Some people may not like the slow burn style. Some people may really love it. I personally really enjoyed how this character had to come with terms with, did he really want this honor, which is what the whole movie revolves around, how honor was so important during this time, and that these knights really needed the honor to become legends. So did he really want the honor, or did he really want to just reap the benefits of becoming a knight? So, like every movie, there are positives and there are negatives, but let's get into the positives first. So the first thing you'll notice in the first 30 minutes or so of the movie is that it checks all the boxes in terms of filmmaking, which is something I really enjoy. I know some people may not appreciate it as much as others, but when I see good filmmaking, I have to, appreciate it. We see production design, sound design, score, acting, just the world building and making it so atmospheric was something I really enjoyed. I was fully immersed in this movie. Like going into it, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, I hope it's good. I hope I enjoy it. But right away, I was just sucked into the story, and it just felt like so real. You know, when you watch a movie in theaters and you just get sucked in, and you're now in this world. You're no longer in the real world, but you're in this fantasy adventure movie, and you're locked in. That's what I felt, which is something I haven't had in theaters for a very long time, which is probably because of the COVID pandemic. But with all that being said, this type of fantasy movie may not be for everyone. I'm personally a fan of Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. For the video gamers out there, my favorite video game is Skyrim from the Elder Scrolls. This world, the Green Knight, is kind of the same world as those three. We're in this fantasy magic world, so things get explained just from because it's magic, or like as we saw in the trailer, that big giant dude is just walking around and we have a talking fox and there's ghosts and things just pop up. And that's something I really enjoyed, the whole lore around it was really cool. And so that's what I love about the first act is that it's really a perfect setup to this world. I really enjoyed the character. I kind of knew what kind of story they wanted to tell with him within the first 15 minutes. And I was on board. I was excited to see where this was going to go. So now with the negatives, you know what? Let's just get right into the negatives. So my negatives mostly lie in the second half of the movie. You can feel that the movie steers away from its main objective, right? Like I said, he's on this quest to go to the Green Chapel to confront the Green Knight. Without spoiling the movie, let's just say the whole second half is pretty much filled with side quests. This is where it turns into more of a character study. It's a lot of not even character development, I'd say, but just reinforcing the message of like what kind of character this really is. So I'd say it's filled with like 3 side quests where, stuff happens to our main character. He's got to get himself out of it. He meets a lot of new characters, and although it's something that I didn't love, I still enjoyed it because it built up more of that lore. This is where we start to get, Ghost, and he sees all these weird things, and this is where it becomes really cryptic. This is where stuff happens where I don't think a lot of people really knew what the hell was going on. Maybe this is where people were lost. A lot of people were saying that they didn't even know what the hell was going on in this film, which I totally get. I think I actually stepped away from it, sort of getting it. There's obviously a couple things that I don't know that I hope I can watch some YouTube videos and get a better understanding of. But overall, those are my only negatives, that it does get slow. That slow pacing does feel a little bit tedious around this point. The runtime is about a little over 2 hours, and you do start to feel that here in the second half. I'm not gonna lie, in the first half, I didn't feel it at all. This movie was just blowing by. I was loving it. But once he really starts his journey to get to the Green Chapel and we get into these side quests, it did take me out of it a little bit. But that being said, the positives still outweigh the negatives in this. There wasn't enough there to really make me feel bored or so confused that I didn't like it. I was so interested in it. So I know it's not going to be for everyone. I know some people aren't going to care about it or whatever, but I personally really enjoyed it. So to sum up my thoughts at the end of this video, I have to say that I really, really love The Green Knight. I'm really into that medieval sort of magical world, and this was nothing like I've ever seen before. It was this dark take on it, and I really loved it. I hope we get more from this. The medieval stuff we got nowadays in TV shows, it's nothing really compared to the old stuff, but they don't really reinvent themselves like The Green Knight does, which is something I appreciated. So although there was some negatives in the second half with the slow pacing that may hurt it in a rewatch, or maybe it'll be better because as I more understand the film and the themes around it, it could be elevated. But for right now, I'm going to give the movie a 4.4 out of 5. I really loved it. If you haven't checked it out yet, please go check it out. Let me know in the comments what you thought of it and if you plan on seeing it. I know it's delayed in the UK right now, but hopefully you guys can get it soon. But thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.